is the CTB show. Today is nearly the beginning of February. It is snowing like a mofo. I don't have a third thing. I'm sorry. Welcome to the show. My name is Evan the Mayor. That is Brian the Levy.
After a week of sitting on your couch, I'm back to standing desk energy, and I already feel great about it.
Very good. And that is Casey the Kasem.
Where's the beef?
I think he's repeated that one.
Good question.
I don't think so.
No.
And joining the show today, we've got two guests because they are both the co-hosts of a podcast known as the Rouxde Cooking School. Friend of the show, John Hauser, say hello.
Hey!
And newcomer, but already a friend of the show, Jeni, how do you pronounce your last name? I'm sorry.
Jeni Paik. Hello.
Paik. Well, welcome to the show. A 5-banger today. All of us, sons and daughters of Baltimore. I don't know about Casey. I don't know where he's from. He was gestated in some sort of mud hole as far as I'm concerned. But Jeni and John, you were both like born and bred in the Baltimore area. We will dig into Jeni's background and discover some food topics along the way, I guess. That's how this show's going to go. How do we all feel about that?
Sure.
Great.
Sounds great.
John, how is Crosby doing on this lovely snowy day?
He's very excited. He just rocked a bowl of shredded mini wheats, and
as you do.
It's the weirdest thing. He sees them on TV and he's like for some reason I think those are like grown-up cereals to him. So he's like, I want that. And I was like, all right. So I got it for him, and now that's like his steez is fucking like busting out.
First off, he's not wrong about the fact that like Frosted Mini Wheats are a grown-up cereal. If you watch the commercials, it's nothing but targeted at adults with a sweet tooth. They're always like, you got to go to work, but you're still a kid. Frosted fucking Mini Wheats. But
they have commercials on like Disney Plus or not Disney Plus, Disney XD or whatever channel we watch Craig of the Creek on, and there's like there's a baby mini wheat and he's got friends, and then he starts eating all of his friends, and Crosby just thinks cannibalism's really funny. So
it is, yeah, it's a hoot.
Children's entertainment took such a hard turn towards like Tim and Eric territory. Sometimes it's hard to figure out like who is this show for? Like, kid shit can be so absurd. I love it.
I will say, okay, so the world of Gumball, the amazing world of Gumball, is probably one of the most amazing things that's ever been on TV. It's
one of my favorite shows, John.
It's one of the funniest things I've ever seen. But then we've been watching Craig of the Creek, which is probably the most endearing show I've ever watched. And it's about a little boy named Craig who lives in a fictional town in Maryland. And he has... Yeah, it's the guys who write it are from Maryland and grew up in PG County apparently. And so they go to him and his two friends go to the creek every day. The one boy, I think I've read, has some sort of on the spectrum thing going on. And then the little girl is like a warrior who's like really into fantasy novels and Dungeons and Dragons kind of stuff. And she carries around like a fake sword made out of PVC. But they get into like the most wholesome, like it's all about their imagination and shit. It's beautiful. It's great.
So it sounds like a lot of the coming of age stuff is baked into that show. What I like about Gumball is that it's like Adventure Time took a hard like right into telling me like how I'm supposed to feel about growing up, and I just didn't give a fuck about that. I just like the dick and fart jokes and Dungeons and Dragons shit. Mm-hmm. But like when it got like the cool thing about Gumball is it never tells me how I'm supposed to feel about life.
And it gets weirder when you just think it can't get weirder.
It's amazing. There's one episode where the parents of the town take the school bus hostage, and one of the disguises one of the parents wears is like the drawing of Heisenberg from Breaking Bad.
Yeah,
and it's like, who the fuck is this show for? Like, it's great. Gumball is the best.
Yeah, and the episodes are only like 50 minutes long, which is great.
I have one more Crosby question before we move on. Can we talk about his pajamas?
Crosby
sure.
Chat.
Yeah.
Well, no, I mean Crosby, definitely a friend of the show.
Yes.
Why are his pants 3 sizes too small?
Because he refuses to fucking not give them up.
They're special pair of pajamas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got this one pair. You're referring to the picture I took of him in the snow the other day, right?
I am.
So there was a picture I took of my son on our deck. There was snow on the deck, and he wanted to see how long he could stay in the snow in bare feet. So I was just taking pictures of him because he was trying so hard to like be cool about it, and it wasn't working. But his pajamas, and I forget exactly which pajamas those are because he's got a couple pair like that. But they're a pair of Legend of Zelda, I think. Anyway,
I think they're actually Pikachu.
Oh, is that? No, you're right. They're the Pikachu ones. So they come up probably now to his elbows on the arms almost, and up to his knees on the legs. But somehow the torso still fits, and that is bananas to me. But it's starting to like rip into his crotch a bit and give him a little camel toe action, which my wife keeps joking with him about. She's like, "You're gonna, fucking hurt yourself." But he refuses absolutely to not like to give them up. Like there's something about them that is either comforting and like he still makes him feel like a little kid, but now there's an added bonus of he thinks it's funny. So he's gonna run he's gonna run that bit into the fucking ground.
So how big are the, like, what size are the pajamas?
They're probably a 6.
Okay.
He's a tall kid.
He'll be 10 in 2 weeks.
Oh, wow.
It's probably 6 or 7. So
it's cool to hear though that like his sense of humor is like evolving. So he's like, yeah, I know this is dumb. I'm gonna keep fucking doing it.
Dude, if he thinks there's something funny, like he just will fucking run it to the ground. It's great.
Oh, fantastic.
All right, let's stop talking about children and move on.
Top of the show plugs.
That was the top of the show plug. Crosby chat.
Crosby's pajamas.
Yeah, Jeni, since you're new to the program, I figure why don't we talk about you? Because you apparently have like a restaurant. That's pretty sweet.
Yeah, it's great. It's our family restaurant. My parents have had it for 30 years, I think. I don't know the exact numbers, but since I was a little kid, since I can remember. We're in South Baltimore, where I'm from, Wagner's Point. I bet maybe 2 people have heard of it. It's past the Hanover Street Bridge, past what people think South Baltimore where South Baltimore ends. And yeah, we're like a truck stop diner. We have truck drivers, and it's a very industrial area. So we have like a lot of people come, and most of our customers work around the area. But I actually grew up there. There used to be a neighborhood. Oh, Peck's Place. It's our family name. And yeah, it's a little shop. We do breakfast. We're known for pancakes and eggs and fried chicken. And I grew up working there as a little kid, and it's pretty great working with my family most of the time.
I absolutely love a good old school diner type situation. I took a look at the menu and I was like, $8.99 for a club sandwich. I'm going. Thank you.
My God.
Yeah. With fries included.
Right. Yeah, it's amazing to me, especially in Baltimore, when you grow up with like industry right next to your face, and the price difference between going into a Federal Hill versus a 2 miles south or even old school Locust Point is insane.
Like when I go to brunch on the Avenue, I hate it when people aren't like, let's go to Lunchbox, because I would much rather have a tall stack of pancakes for $3.99 than whatever I'm going to go get at Golden West or whatever.
Absolutely. And I think we should go around the horn. And Brian, I think I know your answer, but we should identify our favorite menu items at various diners. Open statement.
Oh, my favorite is definitely a turkey club.
Oh, I thought you were going to go with a Reuben or a Rachel.
Oh, no, not at a diner. Not at a diner. A deli. Yes.
Only the delis.
You're gonna get a turkey club. I'm gonna get something for white people. I'm not gonna get something Jewish at a diner. It's gotta be the right diner.
Yeah. Well, since Turkey Club has now been claimed by Brian, I cannot use it.
I'll take onion rings then.
Onion rings? Oh, that's a good one. I'm still not going to take Turkey Club. So if anybody else wants to take Turkey Club, please do. I'm going to go. Also,
there's only one.
Right. There's only one choice when it I hate it when you see like a turkey club, but it has roast beef and cheese on it or something to that effect. Like,
it's not a turkey club.
It's no longer a turkey club. They'll kind of like try to tweak the name a little bit. It's like our take on a turkey club. It's like, no, it's just a different sandwich that you haven't named. I'm gonna go my second favorite thing on the diner menu, the patty melt.
Oh,
yes.
Yeah, you're a big patty melt guy. We've talked about that before, I think.
We might have. I don't know. I do a lot of drinking while recording, so.
That's on our secret menu. It's not on the printed menu, but people in the know they can order it.
Menu?
Yeah, of course.
I love secret menus. My favorite secret
patty melts, kimchi.
Ooh.
On the secret menu.
Do you do any like a Korean fusion diner food?
Yeah, definitely. We'll do like bulgogi cheesesteaks with kimchi on it when my mom makes it. And we also have, we have customers who've been coming since I was a little kid, and we'll, if they know to ask about the kimchi, we'll give it to them.
That's amazing.
So we've been feeding like the blue collar truck drivers of South Baltimore kimchi since 1983.
Yeah,
so.
And it's
awesome.
It's so exotic to them, but it's normal.
Yeah.
Oh, we're gonna go down. We're gonna have some kimchi, maybe some bulgogi.
Yeah, they go, Jeni, did your mom make kimchi today?
Miss Kim's mom, did you make that kimchi today?
Oh, shit. That's great.
Yeah, the first time I was ever exposed to that kind of fusion was actually Pop Tacos, which was a taco stand, but they were doing bulgogi and kimchi tacos. And what is this amazing exotic craziness? Here for it always. Casey, what is your top diner selection?
I no matter what time of day, I always go for something on the breakfast menu. Mm-hmm. So either waffles or pancakes, depending on what mood I'm in. Usually with a side of bacon.
Have we ever seen a non-buttermilk pancake at any diner? Like, it's ever described any other way? Like,
yeah, I don't understand why we have to call it a buttermilk pancake, because it's the standard pancake.
Yeah,
it's got buttermilk in it.
It's got buttermilk in it.
Otherwise,
John,
it's a pancake with just milk.
There you go. John, what's your
pancakes with butter?
Let Jenny go first, because I'm interested to see what she's got. I want to go last just because I don't think anybody's going to claim what I'm claiming.
Okay.
I'm a classic breakfast sandwich girl. Like a bacon, egg, and cheese, or if I'm in the mood, a scrapple egg and cheese with grape jelly.
I did not realize, or I was learned a few years ago, that scrapple is apparently not a southern thing; it's a northern thing. I had no idea.
Yeah, like Pennsylvania.
Yeah,
but it's pretty popular here in Baltimore.
Speaking of Pennsylvania Dutch, I made soft pretzels for the first time ever yesterday,
and
it was a huge mess. But
did you make pretzels? Did you?
I did.
Did you do the lye? Did you dip it in the lye?
I did the boil. Jenny. We did the boil and bake. It turned out great. It was mostly like pretzel loaves, essentially, but it tasted just dandy. I enjoyed it.
I'm giving him shit because he sent me pictures of it. Now he's like, "We made pretzels," and it's just these like pregnant turd-looking things, and I'm like,
"Oh, so they're not brick sheets."
Did you make pretzels?
Well, the picture that I sent you were the ones that were just the blobs that I was I just took the dough and I was like. But a couple of the other ones were actually formed into pretzel shapes.
Did you do the loop? That it's really hard when you don't, like, if you've never made them before. It seems like magic because you're like, what the fuck? And then like you watch videos of people making pretzels and it's literally they just go and it's a pretzel.
It's like hypnotic, like watching one of those guys spin the pizza dough in midair. You know, you're like, how the hell are they doing this? They like throw the dough into the air and it lands as a pretzel.
It's like David Bowie in Labyrinth with the glass balls. It just happens and shit. You're like, what the fuck?
But yeah, he's doing that thing with.
By the way, it was another person.
He's doing that thing with those magical balls, but everybody knows we're looking at his balls.
Yeah, we're looking at his crotch. Yeah. Sarah.
Talk about a camel toe.
Yeah, seriously.
Moose knuckle, I think, is the male term, but yeah.
Thank you. I wanted to say it earlier.
Goblin grunch is probably the good term for it.
Yeah. So, John, what's your top pick? Is it crab fluff?
No,
patties?
I have two. I have a morning and an afternoon.
Okay.
But the morning goes like I'll do it all day too. But I do cream chip beef.
Oh.
Which I think is the standard bearer. Like if they can't do cream chip beef, I'm never coming back. So
SOS.
like, that's my starter. And then on the same sloppy wet bread thing, I enjoy a hot roast beef sandwich.
Sloppy wet bread thing.
Fries.
Title of the episode, by the way.
Yeah.
And
Sloppy
see, John,
wet.
I was actually going to change my answer to the hot turkey platter.
Yeah.
Because it's basically a way that you can eat Thanksgiving year round. You
Yeah.
just go to a diner, order the hot turkey platter. No one thinks you're a fucking weirdo.
The open-faced turkey sandwich.
I have a soft spot for the hot roast beef because when I was a child, my dad and I would go down to Holland's Market and I would go shopping with him. And then afterwards, there was a bar restaurant right next to it. And my dad would get a couple beers and some food. Like I think he would get a hot roast beef and then I would get a hot roast beef. And we just sit around, he'd give me quarters, I'd feed the jukebox. But like that's become like this weird comfort food thing for me. I mean, even when I was a teenager, by that point, I was already on the hot roast beef train. Like, it's just one of my favorite diner things.
That's like me and Atman's corned beef. I just have such fond memories of going to like Atman's as a kid. Like Atman's corned beef is my favorite food. You know, and
yeah.
Speaking of non-Jewish corned beef, John, did you ever go to what was the name of the quote oldest Irish bar in America over in Pigtown Zone? They did really good crab cakes. I cannot remember the name.
Oh, the place on Pratt Street.
Yes.
Yeah, I actually reviewed it.
Oh, did you?
Years ago when it changed hands to the first new person.
Okay.
I grew up around there, and I never remember that place being a bar. I think they just had opened it, you know, because it's right across the street from the Beano Railroad Museum.
Yes.
And I mean, I was around there a lot. I don't remember that being a bar or a restaurant when I was a kid. Maybe it was at some point and it closed up for a few years, but just look up my name and Irish restaurant, I guess. I don't know. And I'm sure I put the story in there, but
was that for City Paper? I forget who you wrote for.
That was for the Sun at the time, I think, when I was actually doing restaurant reviews for City Paper too. So.
Cool. I was going to say though, they our small tradition for the last few years that they were open, we would go over there for St. Patrick's Day and have
Kelly's.
That sounds like, yes, I think that was the name.
That might be racist, but you know.
No, I'm kind of slapping myself mentally.
It's Mick Kelly's.
I was about to say Mick O'Kelly's.
Mac Kelly's.
Mick O'Kelly's whiskey bar.
It's Kelly Dirty Sheep Fucker is what I think you're trying to say.
Mick O'Kelly's whiskey and fucking potato famine.
That's right.
Yeah.
Mick O'Kelly's whiskey wife beating corned beef emporium.
Mick O'Kelly's
this is a place,
angry, drunk, whiskey, potato drinking, wife beating restaurant.
Right. This is a place where people come who live on an island surrounded by fish, and they're still managing to starve to death. That's where they go to drink.
Yeah, hey Ireland, I heard fishing's a thing. Try that out.
The Irish really taking it on the chin today. Jeez, Liz.
Yeah, you're really alienating your huge Irish following.
Yeah. All those listeners.
I'm Irish and I can say it, so fuck you guys.
So we haven't really asked Jeni. So, like, I assume you cook, right? You've joined the Rouxde Cooking School. You are a chef or some kind of home cook yourself, I'm guessing.
Yeah, I grew up obviously cooking for my family's business. I wouldn't call myself a chef. I'm definitely a cook. I grew up cooking, like short order cooking, which I think is some of the hardest cooking there is out there. But then throughout the years, I've worked in restaurants, front of house, back of house, from dive bars to other diners to fine dining. And so I've been and done my own personal like catering and things like that. So I've been around. But to be honest, like I prefer eating over cooking. Like I consider myself a big eater. I'm obsessed with food, not necessarily cooking it. Like I'll nerd out and I love testing recipes and trying new things and feeding my friends. But at the end of the day, I love to eat.
No, listen, I'm an eater. I am not necessarily like, I like to cook, you know, I can feed myself, but no, I mean, I'd much rather go like eat some cool stuff. What is your, if not, you know, just sitting down at a counter at your own place, what is your go-to?
my go-to, like eating out if
Yeah,
I'm
what do you
not
like to
cooking
eat?
it.
Yeah.
Oh, what do I like to eat? I mean, I like everything, but to be honest, like I love it changes. I'm like one of those people, I get obsessed. And if I like eating something and then I'll eat it over and over and over again until I make myself sick of it.
Oh, have you had a
Um,
McRib? Because that's how I'm living these
uh,
days.
like right now, I'm obsessed with Clavel, as is the entire city.
Uh-huh.
I actually just ordered it last night, and I'll eat that over and over again. Which I haven't gotten sick of it. It's been probably years since they opened that I've been obsessed with them.
I'm obsessed with their culture, just like Carlos and Lane and
Mhm.
their big organization is just fascinating to me. And I've interviewed
Yeah.
Carlos, but not Lane, and she's kind of like this ethereal golden goose that
Yeah.
I think one day we'll talk to her and she'll make us all feel really stupid, and it'll be great.
Yeah, no, it's amazing what they do.
Any of them. Yeah.
Like it's amazing what they do, not only the food, but like revitalizing that neighborhood
Yeah.
and things that they do for the community, and like they actually treat their staff well. Like, I mean, they're like a model of how to do it right, I think.
There's a couple of different restaurants on the, I guess, that do-gooder spectrum. And there's certain guys on one side, and then the Clavel guys on the other side.
Yeah, but also like I'm obsessed with Chinese food, and not just like I love good old-fashioned American trashy delivery Chinese food, but then I've been trying to like find good like Szechuan and dim sum throughout the city. There's Orient Express and is in Charles Village on Charles Street, and they're just like this hole in the wall carry out, but then they have this whole, I think they started it maybe like 4 or 5 years ago. They have this whole Szechuan, like authentic Chinese menu where you can get like pig trotters and beef lung and frog's legs and all this crazy stuff and shit, noodles doused in like chili oil. Dude. And I've been working my way through that menu, and I try to order something new every time. Sometimes it's not great.
Yeah.
But
the original secret menu, I remember that was like the original Baltimore secret menu for a while.
Yes. Yeah.
Like, because people are like, have you heard about this place? And then you look online, you're like, there's nothing there. But you had to go and ask for the secret menu, and then they would give you that laminated piece of paper, and then you were like, oh fuck, what am I doing?
That was the first place that I ever had black fungus. And also, have pre-COVID, did you get a chance to go to their sister restaurant up in Towson that was just purely Szechuan?
No, I've heard of it, but it's like it's the same chef that's like overseeing that menu and stuff, but I haven't been up there because I'm so close to the Charles Village one.
I think it's called Red Pepper Bistro or something.
Yeah.
And I've looked at the menu and I drool. Like I just drool because it's just everything's covered in chili peppers. Everything looks just amazing.
Just their straight up simple like cumin lamb, which is a great introduction if people aren't familiar with like the spicy like Szechuan with like kind of the northern Chinese spices. There's like cumin, fennel, and Szechuan peppercorn. It's a great like introduction to that part of the menu. It's salty and spicy and delicious.
Nice. And
they like char the fuck out of it in their very hot woks.
Love it.
That's what I'm getting next. By the way, I just want to interject really quick to say that I'm in like Jeni and I have known each other for years, and we're in like a cooking group together, where like we try once a month or once every other month before COVID, clearly, that we get together and then just make a shit ton of food. Her tamales are probably the best tamales I've ever had because she gets obsessed and can't stop until she gets enough. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
amazing.
I got obsessed with that menu. I was like researching and testing out recipes, and my like core recipe that it was inspired from was, I have a friend, Chelsea, and she's half Mexican, and it was her grandmother's recipe that was handwritten, and the portion for it was for like 300 people. So I had to like pare that down for like 20 people, but I like juiced with my juicer. I juiced my own corn. And I used the corn juice in the masa because I wanted that like strong corn flavor. And then of course I used all the lard that came from the like 8-hour braised pork shoulder that I did.
They were unbelievable.
Yeah.
It is way too early for me to now be this hungry.
Right?
The other thing, speaking of like being obsessed, I because of COVID and whatnot, I've been kind of like tweaking all of my cooking games, but I had never ever made ramen broth from scratch, and I finally did it this week, and yeah, it's great. I mean, it took an entire day and very expensive, actually, if you get all the pork bones and the chicken feet and the this and that and the other. But actually not as hard as I thought it would be, and I'm loving it. Loving it.
Evan, remind me to shout out that place I went to.
The ramen place downtown.
Yeah, or did I do that? I might have done it. I think
you did that last week.
Whatever.
Brian
that place is great.
I was going to say Brian did a really fun thing and did a little staycation. He got a hotel room in the Inner Harbor and kind of just did downtown stuff.
That's nice. I love staycations.
It was good. It was good. I really enjoyed myself.
We did that right after Crosby was born. When he wasn't even a year old yet, I think, or maybe he wasn't 2 years old. We dropped him off at my in-laws came and watched him at our house, and we spent the night at a hotel one night.
That's fun.
It was pretty great. Yeah.
I just love. One time I spent the weekend going to the Max's Belgian Beer Fest, and I decided I was just going to get a hotel room. So I stayed in Harbor East, and I just did like dumb touristy kind of things. Like you never really consider in your own city just going to a hotel bar, but it's pretty enjoyable stuff sometimes.
I love a good hotel bar. Order a martini or a whiskey, and there's some amazing characters that you run into there.
The fancy place in Fells Point's really nice. I can't remember the name of it.
Pendry?
The Admiral.
The Pendry's got a great bar.
Oh, the Pendry.
Yeah, the Pendry.
Great bar, not a great owner.
No. Has anybody done a vacation during COVID yet?
I went camping, if that counts, but no. I guess we did spend a weekend in the Hamptons, East Hampton, not the.
Well, Jesus.
Ooh. We just actually a couple weeks ago went to this like bumblefuck town in Pennsylvania, like north of Lancaster, and rented an Airbnb. It was on this little river, and they had this huge yard, and like we just rescued a dog who's a fucking monster, and so we can't leave him at home anywhere or like have anyone watch him. So we took the dogs with us, and we get the beautiful drive like out in hilly picturesque like farms and things like that. Lots of Amish, like you're passing friggin' the what did the Amish drive? What are they called?
Buggies?
The buggies with the horses.
Carriages.
Yeah, but then we drive up to the Airbnb, and right next door is a fucking house with Trump flags and a giant sign that says socialism sucks. Right. And I want to knock on the door and be like, what is socialism?
Yeah,
do you know? Can you tell me? But luckily,
talk about socialism, they describe democracy. I mean, fucking capitalism,
like what they're benefiting from right now. But like, luckily, the way the house was situated, I didn't have to look at it from once we were in the house or in the yard. But we cooked a lot. It was great just to get out of the city, and we cooked. And I made like a giant pot of spaghetti and meatballs. And then we tried to make I brought all the fixings for like really trashy nachos with like Velveeta queso sauce, and we were playing cards and things during the day and wanted something trashy to snack on. And we almost set the house on fire. Like the oven just started smoking. They didn't have a good pan, and shit started dripping. And I'm supposed to be a professional, but we had to open up all the windows, and we're freezing our asses off because we had to leave the windows open all day because we were terrified it would smell like crap, and we'd have to pay for it. So that was not great, but otherwise it was a nice little vacation.
Yeah.
What vacation doesn't have a disaster every now and then?
Right.
Exactly.
Right. If you didn't start a fire, it wasn't a vacation.
In August, we did a two-part vacation. We went up to Front Royal, Virginia, and for 2 days stayed in a tree house.
Ooh.
So stayed in this tree house that had no electricity.
Was it of horror?
No running water. It had a outhouse that you had to if you did whatever, you put dust. It had like a composting
composting
toilet. Yeah.
Yeah, the lye.
That was actually really awesome because it was a really nice, cool little one big room treehouse. And because Crosby,
that sounds like something that would be nice to do once.
Yeah, Crosby's obsessed. Crosby's like obsessed with Treehouse Masters, the TV show. So we found on Airbnb. If you look up Front Royal, you can find this treehouse. It's amazing. It's just one big room. You can climb up to the top, and there's like bunks up there, like one big bunk that a bunch of people can sleep up there. I slept in a windowsill area that is like a little couch with my machete because I'm insane. Because it's in the middle of nowhere. It's on these people's property, but it's in the middle of nowhere. And I've seen too many movies, so I slept in
the fiction. Hey, do me a favor. Don't show my buddy Crosby that show about like the guys who make aquariums. Because I feel like the last thing that kid needs to do is become a fish guy.
No,
like, that would just be.
He wants a rat is what he wants. Oh. And I'm like, no.
Okay. The second to last thing that kid needs to be is a fish guy. Yeah, don't let him be a rat guy.
Yeah, rat guy, snake guy.
Yeah, no, that's the worst. That's the worst kind of guy.
His college roommate shows up and he's the guy with the rat cages in his closet already.
I had two people that I lived with in college that had rats.
Right, so you know.
Yeah, at least they're inexpensive. Like when you start getting into the exotic animals in aquariums, then it's a very expensive hobby.
But don't they live for like 7 years or something?
They can, a long time if you take care of them. Yeah. Rats.
Yeah. They can.
And I would get a rat king. That's all I want.
Gross.
Ugh. I want a turtle, but my wife won't let me because she said they live like for 100 years, and
they can. Yeah, they can live long.
Yeah.
They live forever.
You don't own a turtle. You just borrow it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Until you die.
We were at the.
They're so cute.
Oh, go ahead.
Have you seen that YouTube video of the turtle trying to fuck a shoe?
Yeah.
Yes.
And it makes the neck, and then it makes
a. Casey, what's up with those vents?
Noise.
So, in the ever expanding saga of my vents, so had to have someone come out and take a look at the vents after we boarded up the hole that the cats were getting into. So apparently the cats, I don't know how they actually got into the house, but they definitely escaped through the vent, got to the main line that feeds all of the vents on my first floor, and burrowed outside. So now I have to replace the main line, which means I don't have any heat on. I don't have like my normal air heat on the first floor, and I have to use.
I have a question. Is your house hollow?
I don't.
What's going on inside the walls of your house, Casey?
I like. It was Evan that said I was on an Indian burial ground.
That was
no. You're on a pet cemetery.
Yeah,
I think you're on a pet cemetery.
He's over top of a Haitian worship temple. Yeah, he's got teleporting cats.
The cats are still
Indiana Jones things happening underneath.
Yes. Steep of insects.
He's got a bunch of Fraggles just destroying the basement because
Fraggles and the Doozers.
Ecosystem and shit.
It's the Doozers. Look, more Fraggle.
All right, it's time to take a break. Time to celebrate the internet sensation sweeping the nation. It is time for shout-outs.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
Shout-outs. This is the part of the show in which we don't take a break, but we do give mad props to persons, places, and things that are improving our quality of life and giving us jolly. Casey, I know we have at least a few from the C-T-shirt Baltimore Fam Zone Extreme. We are now stuck with that name for another 25 days.
You can only change it once a month.
Yes, you can only change it once a month.
Can you really?
Yep.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it. I think we should change the name every month. Like, pick a different theme and go with it. Right now, it is dumb T-shirts.
All right.
Go for it.
Liz G says, shout out to oatmeal on cold winter mornings.
Okay. Oh, you know what? Then I'm gonna jump in with my shout out. Piggyback on what Liz is saying. My shout out was gonna be, it's a nice little snow day. I woke up, made some blueberry pancakes, and made some bacon. Felt really good about myself. Put on a snow day playlist. I found on Spotify. Yeah, little emo, but it's fine. I agree, Liz G. Good breakfast on cold days, snow days. It is snowing today. It's Sunday.
But yeah, it is still snowing. I'm looking out the window.
It's going to be snowing for a while.
It's going to keep going until Tuesday.
What's the estimated accumulation? We got to get Lowell Meltzer on the horn.
8 inches, I think is the last I saw. 8+.
I don't know. I don't think it's going to happen.
According to my drove of over 40 amateur weatherman friends, I don't know what happens to white men after they hit 40. They become meteorologists. They all are agreeing that it's going to be about 5 inches.
Okay. You're right.
It's a very average length.
I'm always going to give you 5 inches.
Casey, what else we got?
Chris says, shout out to cleaning my attic and finding $120.
Yeah, that's quite a
pretty good.
Quite a treasure hunt right there.
Is that like? I wonder if that was like in a pocket of a jacket, or if it was just like one of those you squirreled it away.
It was a treasure map, Casey. He got $120, but he had to fight a giant octopus.
Goonie style. Got it.
Yeah. It is very refreshing when like you dig out a winter coat you haven't worn in a literal year and there's like $40 in cash in the pocket. It's great.
For me, it's always a pack of smokes, but sure.
Dog poop bags.
Yeah.
And my shout out is to this lovely snow we're having. I'm looking forward to taking my son out. We got a sled, so the first time sledding. That should be fun. Looking forward to that.
Oh, hey, first time.
Blast.
Yeah.
Can't wait to hear how this goes wrong.
I was going to say, get some video, bro.
Are you going to brush his teeth before you take him sledding?
Probably.
Good.
He's better dental hygiene than I do. So.
He's going to be that kid in high school that walks around with a toothbrush. Like, I have to go to my next class. I have to brush my teeth.
Yeah.
Oh, after lunch. Oh, my God.
He has to brush his teeth after every kiss. He kisses a girl.
Every kiss begins with brushing my teeth.
Hold on, Becky, this has been a very good first date. I just need to brush my teeth before we continue.
I'm sorry, Case.
Hey, don't apologize to Casey. He's the one that's scarring the child with all his excesses.
Apologize to Ken Cochran.
Twice a day is excessive.
Come on. Before a nap is a little anti nap because you're gonna get all stimulated and mouth clean before going to take a nap, overstimulated from brushing.
Wait,
that's why we read a book. We read a book after teeth brushing, and then it's time.
It just sounds like nap. Sounds more like going to bed to me. That's all I'm saying. I understand the story part.
It's weird because I'm trying to. It's been a while since I've put a kid down for a nap. That shit stopped at 4.
He puts himself down for a nap now.
Rarely, but yeah. I think we just would put him down. We just put him in his fucking bed and be like, "All right, motherfucker, go to sleep."
That was what I said. Rub some whiskey on his gums and put him in a hamper.
That's also not a thing you should do to children. That's child abuse, son.
Oh, is it? Oh.
Yeah, that's child abuse, baby.
Wait, why? That routine. He wanted to brush his teeth before nap. So whatever. Before at the beginning of the pandemic, we were hopping in the minivan and doing circles in the neighborhood. So this is much better and more efficient.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, those kids amped up for oral hygiene.
We just got Crosby new watermelon toothpaste, so that's fun. It actually tastes really
disgusting.
Good. Yeah.
Do you taste that shit?
It tastes like Hubba Bubba, yeah.
Yeah, Hubba Bubba. Timely reference.
I actually know the food chemist who invented Hubba Bubba grape.
Holy crap.
And Big Red, same guy.
Wow.
Amazing.
Wait, that Big Red freshness that cuts right through it?
Your fresh breath goes on and on
while you're chewing.
Yeah, he got really rich.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
Yeah.
Well, can we get him on the podcast?
Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, what the hell is that grape flavor, by the way?
What's that?
I invented Toasted.
Oh, did you?
Mm-hmm.
Brian, can we talk about your background currently? Because nobody else on the show seems to understand what is going on.
I was separating the corner so everyone can see it. So if you're looking on YouTube, what you see is a fast food restaurant with a bear standing on the counter. Guys, do you not remember the seminal 90-minute McDonald's commercial that is the major motion picture Mac and Me?
Yeah, I unfortunately do remember that.
Well, then you don't remember that in the middle of Mac and Me, there's a dance scene at a McDonald's birthday party in which the alien, to avoid having to like figure out how to make the alien dance,
Is that what that is? Okay.
they dress him in a bear suit.
Yeah.
Also, one of my favorite films to feature a main character in a wheelchair.
Uh-huh.
Goes off a cliff.
Yeah, goes right off a cliff.
Yeah. Made famous by American hero Paul Rudd.
That's right.
My other one is Superman 4, The Quest for Peace. He just wasn't in the wheelchair yet.
That's right. Yeah. Ouch.
I can't say that I've seen Mac and Me all the way through. I remember trying to watch it as a child and being like, this is the worst piece of shit I've ever seen, and I turned it off.
I saw that pile in a theater as a child.
Oh my God.
That's child abuse, but I watched it as an adult recently and does not hold up. It's bad.
Oh, it's
very
garbage.
bad.
Can I tell you my Mac and Me story? So
Please do.
We went to see Mac and Me at the Cranberry Mall up there in Westminster, right? And this is this is 1988, 89. You know, whatever year Mac and Me comes out.
Cranberry Mall.
We go to the McDonald's that's right there. It's got a play place and stuff. It's kind of rained, so like I'm playing on like the play place, and I go down the Hamburglar slide. Then I get back up and I stand on like the edge of the slide, like like right when you jump off. So it's not like.
And then you peed your pants.
No, I didn't pee my pants, and I jumped.
No,
I kind
snake came out of the ball pit.
I kind of slipped on the rain and broke my arm.
Oh my God!
But it wasn't like it wasn't like bent or anything. It was just like a hairline fracture or whatever. So I'm like, I can't move my arm. And Mom's like, yeah, whatever. And then we go to see Mac and Me.
Nice.
With a broken arm.
That's some 80s shit right there. Yeah.
And I go to see Mac and Me. And I'm like, I'm just not feeling great. And then it's like a few hours. And it's like a few hours after we get home. And like I'm like, no, I'm like really complaining. And then my parents are finally like, all right, let's take him to the hospital. Yeah, I broke my arm.
He's like, it's not right, Mom. Like the whole fucking thing's like it's like an S curve and shit.
My one and only Cranberry Mall story, and then we'll move on to some more food talk.
We haven't done shout outs and shut ups yet.
We did shout outs. We're going to do the shut ups at the end of the show.
Oh, God.
That's how the formula works, John. You've been on here like twice or more.
This is a lot of time. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. So we went to Cranberry Mall. My best friend at the time, his then girlfriend, worked at the arcade there, and she could get us free tokens. And
nice.
So we made the journey all the way out there, got some free tokens, but the arcade was closing in 10 minutes. So we didn't really get to do that. But this was the teen mall when we were in high school. And
yes, it was.
Because it was in Carroll County, we were like, look at these fucking rubes, these teens, these idiots hanging out at Cranberry Mall. And we went to the movie theater to watch Beverly Hills Ninja.
Nice.
That's where I saw Stargate.
And the projector broke, so we went home. That's it.
I don't think I've ever been there.
Don't go. It's bad.
I don't know if it exists.
It might be
probably
dead.
Doesn't anymore. Yeah.
Might be a dead mall.
I miss an arcade, though.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. A good arcade is difficult to find these days.
I'm really missing... what's the...
Crabtown.
Yeah,
I'm
missing Crabtown.
USA.
I miss Rivertown, USA.
What's that?
Huh?
Rivertown, USA. What was that place called?
Crabtown.
Crabtown.
No. But in the 80s, it was like a Chuck E. Cheese knockoff.
Showtime?
No. Showtime is Chuck E. Cheese.
The Rockefeller Explosion?
Mississippi. No, it was called like Rivertown, USA. This is what Crabtown's based off of. Like the name. But it had like its own animatronic shit and stuff. I don't know. I forget where it was. I'll Google it sometime.
Yeah, that was a strange era where the idea was, hey, let's get some robots that play music and we serve pizza. That's it.
That's all you need.
They were horrifying. I remember having a birthday at Chuck E. Cheese once. Actually, no, it was a Pizza Hut, and that was really weird too because they made us fight for peppermints at the end.
Fight?
Yeah, they had those big fucking trays that like you get at a restaurant, like the big round ones that hold like 8,000 drinks. After we ate all of our pizza, we had like a gauntlet of children in a phalanx around the table, and they just took 2 of those and just dumped all these fucking mints, like Starlight mints, onto the table, and the kids turned into like real life hungry hippos and were fighting to see who could get all the mints, and it was madness. It was Lord of the Flies
get a black
in
eye?
1 second. Yeah, it was crazy.
That couldn't have been sanctioned by corporate.
I have a feeling the teenagers that work there just like watching kids fuck each other up for mints, so they just
They were placing bets. That's
yeah.
I would make my dad drive me to Pizza Hut when I'd get the coupon for reading the books in school for the free personal pan pizza. Y'all remember that?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, fuck it.
It was a big deal. I looked forward to that.
It was a big deal. I remember reading like the kids' version of Moby Dick, which was still like 300 pages, but the font was like 24, and I don't know how they abridged it for children.
What we call Willy Pee-Pee?
Yeah, sure. Willy Pee-Pee. Yes, title of the episode. Thank you. Moving along to other food news this week. It's not about Robin Hood, which I would love to do an entire episode talking about the stock market. Casey, you got that stash card, baby? You got it?
I don't have the card yet, but I have my account set up. I got 2 shares, actually 3 shares.
Yes,
3
very
stocks.
good.
Am I the only person that, besides Casey, I guess, that has an account for Robinhood?
Oh, whoa! What happened? Somebody
Brian
went blank.
just
All right, bye, Brian.
No,
gonna go buy
I'm
some
still here.
stocks.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Hold on. Sorry.
No, I don't have a Robinhood account. I have a stash account. Anyway, I don't want to talk about this. We will do a different episode on this topic. But Subway in the news because their tuna fish sandwich apparently
not tuna fish.
It's not tuna.
Well, that's the headline, right? The headline in the news is people sue Subway because tuna fish sandwich isn't tuna. But is there any actual evidence that it's not tuna?
This is why I wanted to talk about it, because how do you test for that? I mean, I guess you can test for tuna DNA or like run it through a mass spectrometer or something like that. But like, if it's not tuna, I want to know what it is.
They had lab tests done, and I think, what's it say? It's multiple samples were taken, and it's a mixture of various concoctions that do not constitute tuna.
I don't know what that means.
Together to imitate
Probably
the appearance of
pollock,
tuna.
like what fish sticks are
Probably pollock, yeah.
made of. Yeah.
Oh, so it is a fish product,
It's
just
cheaper
not
than tuna. Yeah.
I mean, that's like getting the imitation crab and thinking it's really crab. I worked at Subway. It was my first restaurant job ever, and I was a sandwich artist when they did the fancy cut. And
you still are a sandwich artist. Come on, you don't
never stop being. You never stop being a sandwich artist.
You don't lose that.
But I always ate the tuna. But it would be tuna, extra mayo, mustard, and onion on it, because that was the only way that tuna would taste good.
Mm.
But you never doubted that it was tuna, right?
No, I'm trying to remember. Back then, you had those big, giant cans, and it was actually tuna, I think. So you had to open the cans of Bumblebee and then mix it.
Right, and those cans cost 30 cents.
I was going to say, it's not going to hurt Subway's bottom line to actually use like some albacore or something to that effect. I just don't understand.
Fancy. What are you talking about?
It's the fancy stuff.
Yeah. I'm assuming by now it all just comes in some sort of bag, and they just rip the bag open.
Yeah.
Back in the day, we had cases of those, the giant wouldn't be a number 10 can, I guess number 5 can of tuna, because it was like half of a number 10 can.
Yeah, I can't even.
There's probably like breadcrumbs mixed in and
cellulose.
Yes.
Yeah.
No one's saying it's all tuna.
It's all fish fins.
Yeah. Did you know in Ireland, actually, they also said that their bread can't be called bread because there's too much sugar in it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it has to be taxed.
What do they call it? I saw that story, but I don't know what they call it.
I don't know. I don't remember.
Bread
but
products?
apparently it's like a tax issue because staple items, even for carry out, aren't taxed, like bread and coffee and like shit like that. But so like Subway's trying to fight it because they don't want it to be taxed. but there's just way too much sugar in it. So it's cake. You can get
Yeah,
the cake bun.
the 5-judge court
Makes
found
sense.
that Subway's bread was a confectionery or fancy baked good.
Yeah.
That's
Okay,
giving that a lot
that
of
doesn't mean it's not bread.
Let me
Yeah.
get a cheesesteak cake.
Its
Yeah.
sugar to flour ratio was nearly 5 times too high to fall within the legal standard of staple foods.
Wow. That's
Uh,
crazy.
I also learned that via a different podcast that the bucatini shortage that was going on during COVID was not because everyone was running out and buying all the pasta. It was because they effed up. The manufacturer effed up, and the iron content in the bucatini was too low. So if you look at your
They
box,
wouldn't allow it in the country.
at the box of your typical shell pasta, it says enriched macaroni product. It is not regarded as pasta. So this
Right.
stuff,
And
this stuff,
and they stopped making it in the beginning of the pandemic just to make extra spaghetti and shells and the stuff that people actually buy, because nobody fucking buys bucatini anyway, really. Which, by the way, is my favorite noodle. But yeah, so they kind of just stopped making it, on top of the fact that they weren't like the government wasn't allowing bucatini in because of its low iron content.
so
Fucking
weird.
stupid. I love
It's
this.
not
That
enriched
story's
enough.
Amazing.
People are gonna get anemia if they eat this bucatini.
Yeah.
But hey, if anyone wants a really good tuna sandwich, I have to do a shout out to Le Comptoir de Vin
Oh.
in Station North. I don't know if anyone's heard of it, but they, before COVID, they got best new restaurant from Bon
You're a
Appetit.
maniac about that place.
I'm obsessed. Well, it's right around the corner, so I
Yeah.
walk the dogs, place an online order, and hop in and grab my sandwiches. But they make their own focaccia bread, and it's absolutely amazing and salty as fuck in a good way. And they use the really good Italian oil cured tuna
Oh, wow.
and Calabrian chili, pickled Calabrian chili hots on there, and hard boiled eggs. And they put a ton of parsley as the green. And I'm obsessed. It's
Holy shit, that does sound good.
so I have to eat it once a week. I'm really depressed that they're on vacation this weekend, so I can't get it this weekend. But I have to get it once a week.
I'm not a fan of tuna fish sandwiches, and that does sound awesome.
You gotta try
love
it. It's
tuna.
really good.
I make tuna at home. I use mayo, sweet pickles, gherkins, and celery. That's it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I had egg to mine, a hard-boiled egg.
What about tuna melts? How do we feel
Onions.
about them?
I love
not a
that.
fan.
Love it.
I don't like hot tuna salad.
Do you
Hot
do you
tuna.
know that? Do you know that there are people who take Amish macaroni salad and mix it with tuna?
That sounds
Yeah.
amazing.
Does it?
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well,
Okay.
any of these mayonnaise-based salads should be able to hybridize, right? I mean, you could do a
Sure.
surf and turf salad, chicken and
Yeah.
tuna and mayonnaise. It's basically
Growing
whatever.
up, I just eat a bowl of hot white rice and do a dollop of cold tuna fish on top, and
Okay.
it's so comforting and good.
Hmm.
It's definitely we lived on top of our carry out back then, and so I would just go down and take it from the deli case and just put it in there. It's so good.
I do
All the
love
other
tuna
diners are
noodle
like, why is this
casserole.
kid stealing the rice?
I've been planning on making tuna noodle casserole. I actually do have one of those big giant cans of tuna that I got at the beginning of the pandemic from BJ's, and I've never opened it
Yeah.
because it's
Oh, a little
way
baby
too much
tuna?
tuna fish for any family to eat.
Too much tuna.
Yeah, too much tuna, too much tuna. It sounds like a fucking TV show. But I love tuna noodle casserole because my mom used to make it. It's great, and Leanna's not a big fan. So
I'm sorry, isn't it pronounced tuna caboodle?
I didn't grow up in a cartoon world. What are you talking about?
Well, I did.
Is that what
so
you called
whatever.
it? Yeah.
No, I don't know. That sounds like a Midwestern thing. Tuna caboodle.
Yeah.
Hot dish.
Get your tuna caboodle.
All right, who else has got some topics? Otherwise, we're gonna start shutting this one down.
Not too
Oh.
big of a deal, but did you hear that the spicy chicken nuggets are coming back to McDonald's?
Oh, I
Along with
did.
I did, and
can't-
I enjoyed them, but I wasn't wild about them. And also, I live next to the world's worst McDonald's, and they were out of the hot sauce. And I'm like, what's wrong with you?
Why are you?
Why are you?
I have a topic.
Okay.
Jeni and I talked about this on our podcast this week, and I want to see how you guys feel about the ongoing, harrowing, terrible, country-ripping chicken wars that are happening at the moment.
Chicken wars.
Yeah, the chicken sandwich wars.
Sandwich wars.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, you were angry about Boston Market having a Nashville hot option?
Yeah. Damn, you listen. Hey, what's up, man? Thanks.
I still have not had the Popeyes chicken sandwich, and
It's fine.
good.
I was going to say during COVID and whatnot, I began to double down on making my own very good chicken sandwich, like with an air fryer.
Double down is a KFC product. You got to.
That's true.
TM,
Yes, I
you got to
forgot.
TM that.
Yeah. But yeah, I would get these like comically large Purdue chicken breasts and use my like cutting board to thinly slice the chicken and then individually dredge each of the slices to make this like stack of air fried chicken patties.
Nice.
Throw a bunch of pickles on that, and hot cayenne based hot sauce, and it was very good. But yeah, as far like every single time we go out to the Canton industrial area to stop by BJ's to get inexpensive gasoline, I got to stop by Chick-fil-A.
Glad I'm not the only one that basically has a BJ's membership just for the gas. Jeni and I both agree that the Popeyes sandwich is good, right?
For fast food, yeah.
For fast food.
Like the Shake Shack version is really good too, but they put fucking shredded lettuce on there, like pile it on. Like you can't. No. It was disqualified from the running because of the fucking shredded lettuce.
I need to apologize, but like
Lettuce.
I realize Shake Shack pays their employees and stuff, and it's great and they're wonderful, but their shit is way too expensive.
I've never been.
Yeah, $14 for like a slider with fries. No thanks.
And like the only one around here is in the Inner Harbor, right? So
And it's packed constantly.
for me, it's inaccessible. When I lived in the city, we used to go there all the time because we would just like run over to there, and then
just jog over for
and then cancel it out.
Yeah, and then there was all the shit about they're like a multi-million-dollar company, and then everyone found out they accepted like millions of dollars from PPP loans.
Yeah.
That they didn't need.
Nope.
Who's the owner of Shake Shack? Who's the guy?
I feel like it's a person of note, like it's Bobby Flay or something like that.
No,
he's a famous guy. He's already like he
Danny
did
Meyer.
a lot.
Danny
Yes,
Meyer.
yeah.
Danny Meyer, yeah. And the fact that they took that money was, I mean, dude, we're gonna be reading stories. We're gonna be reading stories about this shit for years of who took that money and
Yeah.
I don't think it actually went to anybody who needed it.
But here's my question. Here's my question. If Boston Market is a place that makes money off of chicken, and they're like, oh, I guess the new hotness is this Nashville hot thing, why wouldn't they make a Nashville hot?
It totally makes sense. But like Jeni said, do they have deep fryers?
What else is deep fried on the menu?
Nothing.
Nothing.
I don't think.
It's all ovens.
So,
also, it's not Nashville rotisserie chicken. Stay in your lane, Boston.
Well, no.
Yeah.
But what they're doing is they're making like a Nashville hot chicken sandwich, I think.
Okay.
Maybe they have
Whatever.
air
By the way,
fryers.
the most overblown chicken sandwich in the history of chicken sandwiches because it is almost inedible every place I've ever had one because it's they just go in for hot and they don't go in for taste. And I had one at a place I won't name in Canton. And I was crying like 2 minutes into it because it made me sad, but I was also physically crying because of the heat and the amount of spice that they had it in the crust, and then they did one of those dips, like the oil dip. And it was so, I tried to eat it. I tried to power through it. I just couldn't do it. It was awful.
So if you're not going to name names on that restaurant, how do we feel about, well, first of all, Eki Ben has a great chicken product.
Yes.
The best chicken sandwich in the city.
So shout out to them.
Yes.
How do we feel about Bird? BRD.
Love it.
I like their chicken sandwich. I'm not
I don't consider it a sandwich. It's basically a fried chicken platter with a piece of bread. I mean, you can't pick it up and eat it as a sandwich. It's just
sloppy.
It's very messy.
I had them delivered and it was even worse. Like eating in there, I'm sure is probably great, but I had them delivered and it was sloppy.
Oh, I've never had it delivered. Yeah.
I will never eat there ever.
Why? What do you got against them?
They saw fit to employ a certain internet troll of note.
I'm about Markel.
And I will never, ever eat there.
Plain potatoes. Well, I'm sure he got fired very shortly after that.
I think he quit.
Oh, shit.
No, not shortly. I think he worked there until he quit. He's in LA now. He's not my problem.
Oh, he made his way to LA. Good for him.
He did.
Is this the same guy that you have an issue with that somehow comes up every time I'm on the episode?
Yep.
Okay. Does this guy know that he's your mortal enemy?
No. A lot of this is just a bit. I mean, like, I just check up on this. I mean, now that this dude has like entered into my life, like, you know, I just check in on him. I just, you know, I want to see what he's doing and stuff. Like, right. You know, it's like every few months I like, you know, Google him just for fun,
just to see what's shaking.
Yeah, but I got I got a long list of people like that. Like, don't you? Like, you know, that's just let's check in.
I've got my little notebook with a list of names and little symbols.
I've got a list of names, and I'm watching all of them. And I just that's not weird.
Are you that guy when somebody pisses you off? You say to them like, "You're going on the list."
I think the celebrity I most resemble is Steve Buscemi from Billy Madison.
Thank you. Yeah,
you're welcome.
That was my next move. Yeah.
Now I feel like I know you.
Now that we've all made a list, it is time to get a little angry. Thank you. Time to get a little venti.
So let's not forget to plug where we can find John and Jeni and all that stuff.
Of course. That's after this segment, Brian.
Yeah, well, just remember.
Okay, time to get a little pissed off here. I'm going to go right ahead and tell everyone to shut up for less than 10 seconds. Don't want to get slapped with that copyright violation, do we? YouTube, thanks. This is the end of the show in which we give persons, places, things that are lowering our quality of life and otherwise deproving it a hearty, proverbial, or literal shut up. Casey, what do we have from the CT-shirt Baltimore Fam Zone Extreme?
And Hannah says, shut up the hangovers in your 30s.
Yeah.
I had one of them yesterday.
I'm working on one right now.
I came out of no drinking January and really tore into it on Friday night and woke up Saturday and didn't get out of bed until 2 o'clock.
Yikes.
I almost threw up. It was so bad.
It's still January, dude.
Yeah, but
for another 12 hours.
we couldn't wait this last weekend. I'm not gonna start drinking on a Monday.
Yeah, nobody likes that.
Not with that attitude.
Yeah.
Anything else from the Fam Zone, Casey?
So there's a John. So John says, shut up to Chris L. for your humble bragging about his clean attic and his newfound wealth. You're clean and you're rich. We get it. Good for
That's
you,
valid.
jerk.
You're clean and you're rich.
Is that a country band,
John.
Clean and Rich?
It's big and rich and clean and rich, yeah.
And my shut up is to the cat that tore through my vent, and now I have to pay to have more vents replaced.
Was it a bobcat?
Thank you. It was just a cat.
No, John, it was a jello.
Is it the Wolverine of cats?
It was a
flex.
Jellicle
It's a
cat.
flex line,
Jellicle
not
cat.
a metal duct. It's a
Jellicle
flex,
cat makes sense. Jellicle cat. I just like saying Jellicle.
I have shut up. My shut up this week is to meeting with friends and then having an awkward exchange when you realize that your politics are wildly different.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Oh,
it happened.
Tell us about that later.
I will just say that the name Ben Shapiro came up,
Oh no.
and the reaction to the name was very different depending on who was talking.
Oh, that Patriot?
Yes, that great guy.
That tiny
That
little
pleasurer
man.
of women, Ben Shapiro?
Yeah, well, fortunately we had an out on that topic because I started to just describe his when he tried to make a joke about wet ass pussy, and it did not work. And
Everybody knows dry ass pussies are the best.
right, yeah. we all kind of laughed about it and agreed that he's not good at being funny. So that was our out. Anyway,
anything? I mean, clearly he is because he's richer than all of us will probably ever be because he's a fucking cockhole. But whatever.
He's a cockhole. That's why he's rich.
Yeah.
All right, who's next?
Oh,
my shut up.
Jeni,
Go, Jeni. Go, Jeni.
Oh. My shut up is to our notorious ex-mayor Catherine Pugh asking for a fucking pardon from Trump, and really just all the pardons in general. That in the swamp of this fucking shit fest, like I just got incensed, like just reading.
Lil Wayne?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Weird.
Her audacity in asking Trump for a pardon for her bullshit is mind-blowing.
Well, also Ed Norris.
Well, the legal thing is if you accept a pardon, you also are admitting guilt.
No?
Like legally, that's part of it. So she by asking for that, she pretty much said, yeah, I'm a fucking crook, which we all knew, but.
What, did Ed Norris get it?
Neither of them got it.
Oh, after all that ass kissing he does, probably. I can't listen to his morning show because of him.
My only exposure to Ed Norris these days is when he appears on like Fox News when I'm waiting for Family Feud to come on, and he like does a slam dunk on Baltimore for whatever reason, and then pieces out and says, "Listen to my Big Bad Morning Show." Yeah, he's the best. He's the best thing that ever happened to Baltimore, according to him, because when everything basically starts, when I was running the Baltimore Police Department, it's like, okay, we get it. How about you not? And if you listen, like his whole thing is, I was framed, and it was all an inside job, and I never did anything wrong. Nope.
I really like my friend Ed, so take it as you will.
So Brian, what is your shut up then?
My shut up is to people who fucking look, man. It's snow. It's snow. Just figure out how to deal with like the mac and cheese boxes you have in your house. Always make sure you have extra tuna. Loaf of bread in the freezer. Don't show up because of the fucking snow. You don't need fucking milk. You don't drink milk anyway. Get the fuck out of here.
It's a perennial snow day shut up. Thank you. John, what do you got?
My life.
My shut up, I guess, goes to that certain restaurant group around, because we never talked about it this episode, but the restaurant group that just, they see landmines and they jump on. Like,
they do.
They just
feet first. Head first.
It seems like they're very much of the mindset now that just because they're getting bad press, it doesn't matter because it's press.
Right.
And they're doing that new thing kind of where like conservatives are doubling down on their stupidity and being like, yeah, I did it, but fuck you because I'm me,
And
like,
I'm going to sue you.
Right. But also like, oh, you want me to turn down the music? Well, if everybody in this area turns down the music and I get written, whatever the fuck he said, it's just being a fucking petulant child.
I agree.
And
that's kind of the reason I didn't want to.
Really bad, and I'm not going to say.
I was going to say I'm glad we didn't discuss it at length during the episode because I'm tired of that person living rent free in everybody's.
Yeah, and that's why I'm not even saying what they are. I'm tired of their childishness, and I think that doubling down on it will make the bros like, yeah, fucking you tell all those fucking people, but eventually it's going to get them.
It's fine. They can enjoy their foosball and lousy crab cakes.
I can't wait until their place accidentally catches on fire one night.
Great. All right, that has been shout-ups. We did it.
Can't wait to be a part of that inquest.
All right. The catching on fire thing, by the way, I don't want to.
This has been episode 347 of the CTB show. John and Jeni, thank you very much for being here from the Rouxde Cooking School Podcast. Give us your plugs.
Go ahead, Jeni.
Yeah.
You know it?
No. This is only I've only done 2 episodes. I don't know what I'm doing.
You can find us at Rouxde Podcast on Twitter and Instagram. We are on all places you get your podcast. Are you guys on Amazon now?
No, I guess I should look into that.
Amazon/Audible. Yeah, that's the new one we're on. And join our Facebook group where there's like, Christ, Jeni, have you been adding people all week?
I have.
Yeah,
I added like 100 people.
Yeah, we're up to like 1,300 people in the group, and
you add people to our group, not your group.
Sorry,
we need people. We don't have 1,300 people. We need more of those.
But there's a bunch of people, and it's being a moderator. It's pretty easy. Like considering we have so many people, like everybody's of the same mind. Nobody's a dick. A lot of recipe sharing, a lot of funny meme sharing, a lot of crazy, food video sharing. If somebody has a question, people go out of their way to answer their question for real. Like it's a good community. So
and there's no yuck and your yum on our Facebook page. There's high-end food, there's trash food, and everything in between, and everyone's happy to share it. So
no snobbery at all.
And dick jokes.
Lots of dick jokes every day. Jokes.
Yeah, and if you enjoy pictures of weird T-shirts, join our Facebook group.
That's my fault, isn't it?
The C T-shirt, Baltimore Fan Zone Extreme. Search for it by name.
I do apologize for that, but for some reason, I see these shirts and I think your page immediately because I feel like it's kind of your aesthetic. Like,
we love it. I love it.
Do you see?
I don't mind.
Don't get it twisted. I'm enjoying this theme, this monthly theme.
Jeni, have you ever seen those advertisements on Facebook for like a shirt and it has like a fucking paragraph like, I'm the girlfriend of a guy who's crazy. He makes me a little scared sometimes, but he protects me. If you talk to me, you're going to get a black eye, and that's for damn sure. And then it's like 2 more paragraphs of shit.
Yeah.
It's like, honey, run.
Honey, run.
And see this shirt. It's like, darling.
This shirt has a remote explosive in it. If I take it off, I will die.
But we didn't talk about these shirts enough. I love these shirts.
Yeah. All right, this has been the CTB show. Thank you very much for watching and or listening. Thank you very much for being a friend. Thank you very much for being a fan. Have a great day and a better tomorrow.